Does this new humanoid stand a chance against Tesla and Figure in 2026? Today on AI News, we're taking a closer look at a new robot's hardware, what it can do, and how much it could cost for you to determine how it compares to the rest, plus state of the end for a new robot that's already in mass production. First, meet Humanoid's HMND-01 Alpha robot. This is a company based in the UK, and it's powered by Humanoid's vision language model as well as its vision language action based Kinet IQ framework. But we'll get into its AI hardware more in just a minute after we talk about the robot's size and strength. So, in terms of its weight, it comes in at 90 kilograms or about 198 pounds, and it stands at a height of 179 centimeters or 5 feet 10 inches. And it has a reach of up to 2 meters or just over 6.5 feet. But in terms of degrees of freedom, it features 29 excluding its hands, and it can walk at a max speed of 1.5 meters per second or just over 3 miles per hour with a runtime of 3 hours. And in terms of the robot's strength, it has a payload capacity with both arms of 15 kilograms or about 33 pounds. But something special is that this robot also features modular end effectors, meaning they can be swapped out. So here you can see them fitted with 12 degree of freedom 5-fingered hands, but the robot can also be fitted with 1 degree of freedom parallel grippers. But now for the robot's AI. So it's capable of end-to-end reasoning, and it's powered by NVIDIA's Jetson Orin AGX, which has 275 tera operations per second. Plus it has onboard Intel i9 processors, which allow the Alpha 01 to engage with humans using its head display, LEDs, speakers, and audio sensing. And this onboard hardware also powers the robot's vision language model and vision language action-based Kinet IQ framework for its reasoning and task execution abilities, which we'll get into in just a second. But first, let's take a look at the hardware that feeds into its AI brain. So the Alpha 01 sensor suite is distributed throughout its body in an interesting way. It starts out in its head, where it has 6 RGB cameras, 2 depth sensors, as well as a 6 microphone array for 360-degree vision and multimodal human-robot interaction abilities. Plus, in its wrists, it features RGB cameras and force torque sensors. Then in its body, it has 6-dimensional force torque sensors throughout its torso for sensing applied forces and torques in all different directions. And it also has haptic feedback sensors that are distributed throughout its body to detect touch and pressure. Then in terms of its locomotion, of course, it can walk straight and in curved trajectories, but it can also turn in place and sidestep, as well as squat and hop. And this is all thanks to its reinforcement learning trained whole body controller, which also features push recovery from omnidirectional interference. Then for a safety measure, not only for the robot, but for humans interacting with it, it features an interchangeable garment to prevent foreign debris from entering the robot's joints, as well as to protect against humans from getting their fingers caught in these pinch points. And here's the crazy part. In terms of the robot's development speed, it went from an initial design to a functioning prototype in just 5 months. And this accelerated timeline is partially thanks to NVIDIA's Isaac Sim and Isaac Lab, where the team condensed approximately 19 months of conventional locomotion training into just 2 days of virtual reinforcement learning. But let's take a look at Alpha 01's price and release date. Even though Humanoid hasn't specified how much the robot will cost or when it will begin selling, judging by this robot's size and hardware, it's likely going to cost somewhere between $30,000 to $60,000, and being as though the company was able to make all this progress in just a few months from their inception, Alpha 01 could very well begin selling in the first half of 2026 if they maintain this type of speed. But tell us whether you'd buy this robot, lease it, or skip it altogether for the next version, and what are the tasks that it should be able to perform out of the box. Next, there's another company that's already shipping robots at scale, as AGI Bot's 5,000th robot just rolled off the production line, including the A2 Ultra, which is AGI Bot's premium humanoid. So let's compare the specs here. Starting with its size, it stands at 169 centimeters or just over 5.5 feet tall, and it weighs just 69 kilograms or 152 pounds. And throughout the robot's body, it features 40 degrees of freedom, including 7 degrees of freedom in its arms, 6 degrees in its legs, 6 degrees in its hands, and 2 degrees of freedom in its neck. But what sets the A2 Ultra apart is its extensive customization options. because users can program custom instructions, build a personalized Q&A knowledge base, set wake words, configure character settings, define actions, and even input facial data. On top of this, the system supports advanced customization of voice tone, skills, and enterprise large models, which means that it can be adaptable to virtually any application. And out of the box, the robot already features 11 interactive expressions on the face screen and 30 voice-linked actions with freely customizable expressions, movements, voice, walking speed, and duration. And the action sequences can actually be dragged, adjusted, and combined. Then, for spatial awareness, the A2 Ultra employs autonomous navigation with intelligent obstacle avoidance, and this is thanks to its dynamic planning engine. And in terms of its perception hardware, it includes 3D LiDAR, RGBD, RGB, and fisheye cameras, with all the communication happening via Wi-Fi. Next, let's take a look at performance. The robot delivers 270 Newton meters or 199 foot-pounds of peak knee torque, and it walks at 0.8 meters per second or about 1.8 miles per hour. And it features a maximum arm load of 3 kilograms or about 6.6 pounds. And in terms of its battery, it features 14.4 amp hours, providing 3 hours of standing time or 1.5 hours of walking, with fast charging of just 2 hours, and also the battery is swappable. And the intelligent control system features 16-core high-performance CPUs, as well as an NVIDIA Jetson Orin processor with 275 tera operations of computing power. On top of all this, the A2 Ultra includes a handheld remote for direct control, plus it supports smart over-the-air upgrades with swarm control planning for highly efficient multi-robot coordination. Finally, Google just released a vibe coding breakthrough with the launch of Antigravity to build your entire application while you're away from the computer, but now with a twist. So to start, Antigravity isn't just another IDE. Instead, it's now an agentic development platform where AI agents autonomously plan, execute, and verify complex software tasks across your editor, terminal, and browser. And unlike traditional coding assistants that live in the sidebar, Antigravity gives agents their own dedicated space with direct access to all development services. And here's where this all gets interesting, because the agents produce artifacts, which are deliverables like task lists, implementation plans, screenshots, and browser recordings. And developers can use and review these and comment on them, similar to Google Docs. Then the agent doesn't just write code, instead it verifies its work by running applications inside Chrome and then presents walkthroughs of the final product. So imagine an AI that screen records itself testing the app that it just built to prove that it actually works. In terms of how it works, it features 2 distinct interfaces. The first is the editor view for hands-on coding with familiar IDE tools, and the second is the manager surface, which is a mission control center where you can orchestrate multiple agents working simultaneously across different projects. Anyways, like and subscribe for more AI news, check out this video here, and thanks for watching. Bye.